Hey guys, Dubakoo here with an MoP beta video on the RESTO DRUID point of view. I'm going to start by my opinion on the RESTO DRUID in MoP. So, I think that Blizzard have geared us up to be tank healers again. And obviously most of you would agree that we are only raid healers right now. We're not effective tank healers. We've not got good enough cooldowns to do that. And the reason why I believe that is particular skills that we have, not many, I think as I look at them about 4. And the first one is one of the talents that you can choose from called Cenarian Ward, which acts a little bit like a shield, an absorption shield, but this one is when they take damage, they receive the heal. So if I can find someone that's taking damage around here somewhere, this guy looks like it. No, okay, I'll put it on him. So if I put it on him, you'll be able to see in a second that the shield is activated, and there's the first tick, second tick, and there's a third tick. So 21k crits and 11 bottom end heal, which right now is pretty good. A maximum of 65k, I'd say, with the current gear that I'm equipped with, which is like really bad 3, 7, 8, 13 mastery I think this guy's got, opposed to my 404 item level druid with 20 mastery. So the ticks are going to be a lot higher, I would imagine. The second skill that I want to talk about is Life Bloom. In your glyphs, there is a choice to glyph this, glyph of Life Bloom, which when the current tank has 3 stacks, and you grant somebody else the Life Bloom, it will immediately just transfer all 3 stacks over. Observe. If I target myself and give myself 3 Life Bloom stacks, and then I go over to this guy here, oh no, I don't want to put it on him really, do I? Hold on, let me find someone. Sure, there's plenty of people hanging around. And then I put it on him. He instantly gets the 3 Life Bloom stacks. Target myself, 3 Life Bloom stacks. So that's really good for tank swapping. Really, really good. Saves 2 global cooldowns. A really good indication that that is designed for tanks, which is good. The next one that I want to talk about is Iron Bark, which is a 20% damage reduction cooldown of 2 minutes, which, in my opinion, is a bit too long. I would have thought they'd have put that exactly the same as Bark skin, which is obviously for me, which is 1 minute, and Iron Bark is 2 minutes, even though it's a tank cooldown. So I'm not really impressed with that. I'd have thought that they'd have put it the same, but they haven't. Whatever. Even if it was 1:30, since the duration is 12 seconds, quite good. But anyway, the next one I want to talk about is the mushrooms. Instead of just giving it to the caster, the boomkin, healers now have mushrooms, and I will show you what it looks like when you pop them. I want to go into like a populated area because it looks really, really effective when you're in a stacked area, which I'm guessing that's where they're meant to be popped. So if I put them in the middle here, notice that the mushrooms go down really fast. No more than 1.8 seconds. That's 3 mushrooms down. And then I'm going to pop these here, and you can see that is a shit ton of healing. And I can just relay those 3 mushrooms back down, wait for the cooldown on another stack. Boom. That is like 140k healing on 10 targets. That's just here. Not on 10 targets. Really, really OP skill at the moment. I'm going to be expecting a nerf on that, unfortunately. But if it doesn't, then lols. The next one I want to talk about is, again, at the moment only for a caster, but it's got a 3-minute cooldown on this one, but the duration of it is really good. It's a minute. And they are the Treants. Look, we have a little quad going on here. These guys hard cast Healing Touch, and add all the healing touches up from these 3 here, is about 25k, Okay, I just failed there. It was a 33k pulse on me there. It doesn't show the pulse all the time because it's just casting on random people, and because they got full health, it's not showing the actual heal, which is really annoying. Some say these are bugged right now and heal themselves or some rubbish, but I were like halfway health earlier, and they were healing me for around about 25k pulse, which is really good. They're up for a minute. Nice little tanky tank cooldown, I guess, but I think it's going to be a smart heal. It's either your target or a smart heal, which is fine by me. I'm not doing the cast, it's just one button. Here, this is not, in my opinion, cool for a raid thing. It's not that good. It just pulls in enemies. I mean, for a raid situation like Spine where you got a ton of blood, this might be good, but I'll just get aggro. So as soon as that comes down, I'm gonna have to pop Shadow Meld, where I might have had to use that earlier. So if that's on cooldown, I'm dead. So I'm not really impressed with that unless I take a Hand of Protection from Paladin. Not awesome. So I want to just quickly show you again the mushrooms, while followed by an insta trank, just to show you the absolute effect, the effect that this can create. So if you're stacked and you pop that followed by that, your raid is not dying today. It is just crazy stuff. Oh, and also we now have Typhoon as a healer, which is fantastic actually. Really impressed with that. Very useful, like again, for something like a Spine fight. So there are all the skills that we have, apart from one particular skill, but I'm going to show you the glyph for it. It's Regrowth. Now, I've noticed that there's a certain sacrifice that you take on with Regrowth. With this talent glyph right here, you can increase the regrowth by 40% critical chance, and with the already 60% natural crit increase, which is the talent Nature's Bounty, is it? I think 3 picks of that will give you 60%, plus this talent gives you 40. In my math, that's 100% crit. Observe. Crit. 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 Yeah, it's not going to stop critting. So, the sacrifice that you have with this is you lose the hot that regrowth gives you. So if you heal, if you don't have that glyph and you crit it naturally, that'll crit 40k with a hot, which is like a 55k heal. With it glyphed, it is guaranteed to crit, but you've not got that extra hot, which is around about 10 to 15k. But the good thing about this is if you're on tank killing, you know that's going to instantly crit. You know it's you don't that's the sacrifice. You know it's going to heal, but if it crits without the glyph, then it's going to do more. Unlucky. But if it doesn't crit, it only hits for about 20k. With a 10k overlay, which is 30k over time, which is not good enough in tank situations, tank healing situations. That's 80, 120, 160, 200k. They're up, and with the gear that that I have, 4, like I said, I'm allowed to spam a couple of regrowths, and that in itself acts as a tank cooldown heal. It's just like the Flashlight for Paladin. So that's the skills all cleared. So the glyphs, I've already explained, the regrowth is the 40% extra crit. That's the same as it already is, an additional target. The life bloom glyph is the transfer of all 3 stacks over to another target. This is a really nice thing that they've reapplied in Mists of Pandaria, which I missed out on. Because I was a mage in Wrath of Lich King, and it's the Treant form. It doesn't give you anything, it's just a skin. It doesn't give you any additional healing like it used to. It's just a skin. But the actual idea of being in this form, again, since we're druids, we're like wood peeps, it only makes sense that we're constantly a tree, so I'm glad that they put that in there. Doing the best, bless them. So The next one would be the stag glyph. This one I would say is a bit of fun, but instead of going into a little leopard, you now go into a stag. And at first glance, not cool until you find out that someone can actually jump on you and mount you. So instead of having to go out and buy a Vial of Sands or a Tundra, you can actually be mounted on this stag. And I think it's just one, but one's good enough. The next one is the chameleon glyph. This one is a bit of fun. I glyphed it because it was new. But when you go into cat, white, pink, black, pink, 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 blue. So there are, whatever that is, purple. That is all 4 colours: white, black, pink and purple. Just a bit of fun, that one, to be honest. Nothing special. As for the talents, I'm not going to actually go through all of them. I'll just choose why I chose these originally. The feline swiftness, I chose that because the movement speed that you have as a druid in a raid scenario, the movement speed of 15% is really nice, to be honest. It saves having to go into cat form and pop in your the dash, which I do on quite a few occasions. It's just always there available to you. I like it. A blink, 3-minute cooldown, not good enough, and a charge. What is it in healing form? You fly to an ally's position. That is good. What's the cooldown? 15-second cooldown. That's really good. I mean, it's between that one and it's between feline swiftness and wild charge. In a raid situation, that one would be probably the best, to be honest. I can see our leader, our Boomkin, choosing that one for like a deterrence. As you can see, it says bound backward. That is a deterrence. I can see like probably every druid either choosing that or feline swiftness. Here's the actual scenario: ward talent, which I'm definitely going for. I don't even care what these are. Instantly heals a druid. No. When activated, your next side. I don't even have that talented now. So definitely that. Typhoon, I chose that because, well, I never have as a healer, so I mean, it's just good, innit? I'm not going to mass entangle anything, really. And roots are not long enough, really. I mean, a knockback will give you 5 seconds. Roots are only usually up for around about... And it's only 5 targets, but it's only usually for about 4 seconds, I think. Something like that. With a 2-minute cooldown, crap. Feline Sworn, God knows, I don't even want to read it. Forge Swiftness, the Treants, a minute they're up for it. It's just awesome. It's either that or a Tree Form. Tree Form has saved the raid in a lot of situations in the past, but I can... Force of Nature is just too cool to not choose at this point, but Tree Form is definitely saved the raid, so it's between that one and that one at the moment. What's this one? You gain 50% haste after... That's a good one as well, because I Swiftman obviously all the time, but nah, it probably F mana up and stuff with the rotation I currently take up, so definitely not that. I chose that Vortex glyph just because talent because I saw it in another video, and I thought it looked pretty good, but when I did it, it's kind of gay. Don't really need the other two, so that's really the only one that you can choose. And obviously I can't choose any of these right now, but I'm guessing it's Heart of the Wild, since that's, yeah, additional intellect and all that sort of jazz. We'll look at them another time, because they're for level 90, so right now I'm not really interested in those. I think I've cleared everything. I'll just quickly mention about Symbiosis. I keep forgetting how to get to my skills, for God's sake. Symbiosis is a skill that I don't have right now because it's level 87 with a cap of 86 on the servers. But Symbiosis is really well, it might be overpowered. It sounds overpowered. If I put that on any target, any character, I receive a useful buff from them. So, for example, if I put that on a warrior, a prot warrior, I'm going to receive something that complements my healing. and I can only think of a couple of things that I would get. I'm not going to get Rend. That doesn't do anything useful. I can imagine a charge, a last stand, a shield wall, even though I can't wield a shield, so I guess not. Maybe a no, not a whirlwind. That's hard. No, I can only think of a charge and a last stand at the moment from a warrior. From a shadow priest, I might be able to get maybe a dispel, which would be a bit rubbish. Hopefully, what do you call it? A cloud thing, a dispersion. From a mage, maybe a blink. So something that's useful to me, and it seems really overpowered because it's not just a healer that can cast it; it's a cat as well. So, and a bear and a boomkin. So I'm really looking forward to that. Wisdom of the Four Winds allows you to fly. Okay, so yeah, that is pretty much all I'm going to cover today. I hope it's been useful. If there's any more stuff that you want me to cover, or if me and my guildies that have got better access are going to be doing some dungeons as well, so make sure that you keep watching out for those uploads. It'll be within the next couple of weeks maybe. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.